Okay. It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajilu Olabisi Ugbo and YK is in the building. No. She's already causing confusion this morning. I beg you, I'm not Morayo. Take it easy on me. How you doing, Mama?
I'm fine. I can see myself.
Yes, you can. What's going on? What's going on with you?
What's going on? Nothing. My grandkids left. They left on Friday, so...
Are you sad? Wait, are you sad? Or you're happy sad?
Mixed feelings.
Happy sad.
You know, on that Friday when they left, I rolled on the bed like this.
Stretched, slept. I know.
But when I woke up, I missed them.
Yes,
I still miss them, Sha. And but they are adjusting. My granddaughter, the baby, when I spoke to her on the phone the next day, she saw me. She was crying. Her mom was saying, and she was trying to reach to me on the, saying, if she sees Alice, because she was so attached to Alice, that cry with her mother said, I don't even want to call Alice because she's going to cry.
That's so nice. They come from time to time now. Very soon now you carry your bag and you go there.
Hopefully they will come again for my birthday, even though there's nothing special, but
they'll just come and spend time with you
and spend some time. I'm just going to be 64.
Yeah, just. That's a huge one. Just going to be 64.
And it's not like.
And you're looking for somebody closer to you in age on this table.
Yes.
Mariah is.
You know, original. Yeah, she wants
Bullet.
Say it.
Bullet, say what you said. I want the Bullet to reach Mariah where she is.
When I heard she was 45, I said that's why she's always forgetting everything. All they done, they knock her door.
A Bullet reached her. All right, I'm trying to be nice. You know, I'm giving my life to Christ.
So today I know that you are wicked because I made this comment before the show. So she made sure I made it again.
I like all those kind of things. Lima, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm angry with the FHA, the Federal Housing Authority.
What happened?
So for over almost close to 8 months, because I remember before the end of last year, FHA locked First Avenue gates. They want to restructure, they want to build they want to do something. You know, till today.
They've not built anything.
Till today, they are not on it. Whoa. So you're going to Festac, you then have to go and climb the new bridge. So they made your journey double. And it's as if there's no authority in the Festac.
And they are not doing anything, they're not seeing.
So I will don't turn to headquarters. You know, on Friday, I went to the Deputy Governor's and I was coming back, and there was a traffic from first gate all the way to Alakija. At night, I mean at 10, you can't sit down for this traffic, everybody's reversing. And that means that you either do one way all the way to Doba, back to Mile 2 to get to the middle lane.
That's even dangerous.
So we now have the road, we now remove all the stones. Pay 1,000
to pass.
Can you imagine?
By that side. And it's as if there's no authority in Festac. So I prepared for them come. Because yesterday I had speaking and sister symposium at the Lab Ferry Muslim community. And I couldn't turn under the Doba bridge. I was lost. Eventually somebody showed me a way. And I was like, ordinarily, we don't go use Festac, solve this problem. First gate, find our way. I just kept wasting fuel and turning. Same gate again. FHO, I don't pack load come off for Festac. Now also I lock human being. Imagine an emergency. Unfair, The boys were at the mercy of the boys. I got on 12 midnight on Friday.
Wow.
12 midnight
That's
on Friday.
Late.
The whole of Festac locked. Alakija coming down the bridge locked. We were all sitting in traffic as if it was morning. And it's as if there's no authority in Festac. We will not even talk to the local government chairman. No roads, nothing at Festac. Festac people will not well done. Now I have to go to Festac every day because I have a patient in Festac. Every day I'm facing the problem.
Yeah.
This problem was there in 2023. I was in that ambulance on that bad road.
You know when we were coming to see you. You know when we were coming to see you that time.
YK, please let me come to.
Sorry, Ramatu. If you see the sea inside Festac town, the driver wanted to enter this. I said, it's not in my car. You used to enter that sea.
You can't pass there. You'll be stuck. You would have been stuck.
See, you will not be river.
I'm doing very well, of course, you know, because since fasting started now, most of my friends, we gist at night. You know, wake up in the night to pray. So you find us active at night. Yeah, you find us active at night. That's when we catch up. We're like, because daytime, you know, you're so hungry, you know, and then time to cook, you're in the kitchen. So it's in the night. Yeah, it's in the night, oh. My friend called me at 1 a.m. today.
It's
last
showing in
night.
your face.
We
You
wake
need
up
to
at night.
sleep. Oh.
We don't sleep. We
And
have
after
to pray.
prayers, off your phone and
The
sleep
last
now.
10 days, that one marathon, man. God must answer prayers.
Yes, so should I send some of my prayer list
Yes,
to
so
you?
please do.
Can I send my own?
I need
Please
a lot
do,
of
please do,
prayers
please
right
do.
now.
I can't send to Nima. Nima doesn't pray
Nima
for me.
prays, Nima too was active at
that
1,
time,
2.
Abi?
Yes, I saw her. She came on Instagram.
All right.
Is it Instagram she wants to be doing her prayer?
YK, we
Which kind
have
of
to.
human being
when
do
you
that?
People are
You
taking my
just
banter
switch.
time. We have to go.
You better do your banter.
No,
do your
there's no
banter.
banter. Our producer is already in my ear. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, Assembly lists Fubara 19 sins. Lawmakers ask Governor Deputy to defend gross misconduct allegations. No letter received by government. Drop in food, gas prices reduces inflation to 23.18%. NBS report shows 130 basis points slash. Dangote to build Olokola Seaport Itori cement plant. El Rufai stands diminished with his actions, says APC. What stories do we have in the Nation?
Okay, major headline.
Go ahead.
I don't envy Fubara right now. So the House of Assembly has invoked Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and they are looking at starting the impeachment process for the governor of Rivers State as well as his deputy governor, Ngozi Odu. And they listed 19 grounds of gross misconduct. And they will say if you take Fubara to the ocean to bath him free of all these allegations, he will not be clean.
No way.
Yeah. First of all, they said that he refused to present the budget to the House contrary to Section 121 of the Constitution. They said that he withdrew and spent money from the consolidated revenue of account of the state without appropriation because, of course, the Constitution, the appropriation bill was not brought before them. And they also said he violated 122 of the Constitution by authorizing expenditures from the consolidated revenue funds account of Rivers State without the House of Assembly, and declared when the House of Assembly was declared shut down by the state government. They also said that on February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court in its judgment validated the order of the Federal High Court confirming that the governor spent money without appropriation in 2024 and still had no appropriation in 2025, and as well as ordered the CBN and the Accountant General not to release funds to him anymore. They went on and on to list it up all the way to 19. Some of it included appointments without, house appearances by any of his appointees, releasing monies, and this all 20. More than one third of the members of the House have signed his allegations. So, which is why I feel for him. When we studied the impeachment process as a law student, I used to wonder if any governor can escape it, but this one too much. He sees funds meant standing to the credit of the Rivers State House of Assembly since the month of April 2024 in a bid to frustrate the House. Those are things that he did, that he's aware of, which is why I say he should play politics before this happens. But now they've begun his impeachment process. And they're also saying that he refused. On his own side, his Commissioner for Information is saying they never write us, they never did anything, that they have not received any of that. And the governor was not willing to represent, that the claims that he was not willing to represent the appropriation bill is a lie. That they tried to represent it, but they were
but we were all here when he tried now. Didn't he go there?
I'm the one taking that story. The account I have is that they gave him 48 hours, which was a deadline on a Friday. I was on the show. And I was saying, how hard can it be? And then he then wrote them, inviting them for a legislative party instead of going to see them. It was after that he now tried
when
to
he went. They say he
so
went.
within the time limit given, you cannot choose to be, it is no longer that. Politics and democracy, do it. When the House of Assembly calls you, answer them.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said that you should play politics. It's
Excuse
time,
me.
you
I'm
know
still
when
on
to
this
put
story.
it in.
Let's move.
All right. So we have the House of Reps donate 705
We'll
million
come
to
back to
support
that.
Tinubu's humanitarian. They said the Vice President Kashim Shettima urged National Assembly members to prioritize national unity and development above political division. He said this at Iftar. That's the President's organized Iftar ceremony for them to come. He said that we are gathered here this evening not as adversaries in a contest for power, but as partners in the noble task of nation building. Reflecting on the significance of Ramadan and, the Lenten period, the Vice President called for deep introspection and a reaffirmation of commitment to Nigerians' unity. He said this sacred month of reflection and renewal reminds us to choose stability over strife, collaboration over conflict, and dialogue over discord. What binds us as a nation is far greater than what divides us. He also implored Christians and Muslims to dedicate this time to praying for the country. He said, pray for the economy, pray for improved security, pray for leaders, and pray for the citizens.
Okay.
Later on, they said, on behalf of the House of Reps, the Speaker donated 705 million to augment the President's humanitarian engagement and to support the vulnerable in the society. The donation represents 50% deduction from their salaries for 6 months.
So I took El Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, has come under fire and come under scathing criticism by the All Progressive Party, their spokesperson, what was he? Felix Moka, and they're advising him to quit sulking. Publicity Secretary Felix Moka. They said he should stop sulking is because he didn't get the ministerial position that he's sulking. El Rufai apparently went on BBC Hausa and he was talking about how the party has deviated from its founding, from the progressive ideals of its founding fathers. So they're saying, no, we are still like that. It's just because he didn't get the ministerial position. The former Jigawa State Governor, Sule Lamido, rebuffed El Rufai's invitation also to join SDP. He says it stands logic on its head for PDP leaders to dump their platform for SDP. So anyway, he's under fire.
Okay, let's move on to the Punch. Major headline, tension in Rivers as Assembly serves Fubara misconduct notice. Tantita tightens security, lawmakers list 19 infractions against Governor Amechi camp kicks. Wike revokes 4,794 FCT land titles over 6.9 billion ground rent. SGF distances self from 8-10 billion fraud probe. Anti-Tinubu coalition, APC orders attack El Rufai, Atiku as plot thickens. Niger fuel crisis, custom marketers differ as 400 border filling stations short. Copper who criticized Tinubu under pressure to apologize, this is according to activists. 4 feared killed in Ogun cult clashes. Lagos PDP attacks Jandor over return to APC. Amosu Dangote differ over cement plant demolition. Military attacks, electricity workers disclose blame federal government and they threaten strike. We'll take a story and then we'll do a short break. Who's ready to go?
So let me just quickly take the very brief story of Jandor's defection.
Grasshopper.
up and down. So the Lagos State chapter of the PDP has Lapond,
a whole Jandor.
Abdulaziz, popularly known as Jandor, for returning to the APC. And they are saying he was never our own. According to the deputy chairman of PDP Lagos, Tai Benedict, he said, Jandor was never our own. He was allegedly planted, like a fruit, by the APC inside the PDP.
Come and spy on them.
He was never our own. He was an agent sent to our party to destroy our party. The very first time I saw him, I told him to explain that you are an agent of the APC sent to our party because they knew he had a bright chance to win that election. He was a former gubernatorial candidate of the PDP in the last 2023 elections.
That was saying this?
No, that's Jandor.
I remember now.
PDP, I think it was here
PDP. And they did not
at
win.
the time to come.
I don't understand these politicians. Where is their integrity?
No, there's no ideology.
Stay with one party.
No. They have to.
Yeah, if this one doesn't serve you,
where
you go to the next
you.
one. Exactly.
Self-interest.
That's why I
when
said
did human being become grasshopper?
to calm down. They will soon come and join him in the SDP. Once they have some big
They make you human being, turn yourself to grasshopper. Me, I don't even understand though.
We'll take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the punch. Who's ready to go?
So I have the Wike revokes 4,794 federal capital. They said the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved the revocation of 4,794 land titles in the FCT over non-payment of ground rent, estimated at 6.9 billion for more than 40 years. That's a lot of money. And they say a total of 8,375 property owners in the central area, Gariki 1 and 2, Wuse 1 and 2, Asokoro, Meitama, and Gusapi had not paid ground rent in the last 43 years. Here, and they said that the FCTA have made numerous publications in national newspapers. They've broadcasted it. They've called defaulters to pay up all outstanding bills and ground rent, but most of them have refused to. They have failed to pay. They have refused to go and pay. So Nyesom Wike is coming for you. Make sure you go and pay your outstanding before he comes for you.
Okay.
It's a short story.
So I have a story here. The president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has accused former Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun of demolishing his cement plant twice during his tenure. So he made the claim on Monday during a meeting with Governor Dapo Abiodun. And he said that, I want to get exactly said. So in that meeting with Abiodun, he alleged that Amosun's administration twice pulled down his cement factory while it was still under construction. He said, I deem it fit to have it on record that the factory we are visiting now in Itori is because of His Excellency that we came back. That factory was demolished twice. We started building, then Amosun demolished it. Then the second time we started again, he demolished it, not only the factory, but also the fence. So we left. But right now we are coming back because of His Excellency, my brother, Prince Dapo Abiodun. And we are now back. We are going to be there and people are going to be surprised. But, you know, they had responded that Amosun responded in a statement by his media office. And he said that Dangote's allegations were challenging him to avail the public of the requisite approval for the construction of the structures he alleged were demolished. So if you say we demolished it, bring the papers out to show the people that you got this legally, you got the planning right and everything, so that people will see what we had demolished, and then we can have a proper conversation from there, not for you to just be throwing allegations that we demolished your property. I guess that they will be sorting that out.
But you know, some privileges go to businessmen.
Yes, yes.
So was relying on that.
Yeah.
I took the story of the youth couple who Showore has alleged is being forced to apologize. Apparently, we all know her story. She was trending for criticizing the government and the president, and she was accompanied to the NYSC local government inspector's office by Showore and a team of lawyers. But I watched the video. They didn't meet anybody, but he says they are forcing her to. They're trying to pressure her to apologize. The video went viral. It's just that they're talking about how she criticized the president and she's now being asked or forced to apologize. She says she received threats over her comments, sparking a widespread debate. But I think this should be handled with, you know, people should be allowed to criticize if they want to criticize.
It's a democracy.
You know, it's a democracy. What you need to do is to tell them, because these are the Sorosoke generation. The Gen Z are the Sorosoke generation. If you try and
stifle them,
what we will see will not be what they will like. I watched a video yesterday where all of them now came out criticizing. They started ranting.
Wow.
I was rolling with laughter.
Wow.
If you hear what these children were saying,
of course.
So please, solve their problem. Don't stifle them. That's my own point.
It will even be sweet that you come out as the president to address the young
her.
girl.
Yes.
I understand
Not
your
even just
fears.
the young girl,
Yes,
all the
even
young
I understand your fears. I understand things are a bit difficult right now, but these and these are things that we're doing. Give us some time. Just be here with us. You will see. Very soon you start seeing results and all. It will be sweet.
It will be sweet. It will be nice.
They will say you are a listening
Let them
president.
advise
You are a listening
them very well,
government.
please. Yes, it will be sweet. Let's move on now to Vanguard. Major headline: Assembly serves Governor Fubara deputy notice of misconduct. Why Nigerian ports are not competitive, according to shipping firms. Ground rents: Wike revokes 4,794 land titles over 40 years. Court to AGF: you've no power to prosecute electoral offenders. Dangote Amosun bicker over demolition of cement factory in Ogun. Party primaries. National Assembly molds amending 2022 Electoral Act. Ex-Governor El-Rufai traumatized after losing ministerial slot, according to the APC. Beneficiaries of fuel subsidy ganged up against Tinubu's government at Inception. That's the Senate leader. And 2026 WCQ. Eagles hit Kigali camp ahead of Rwanda clash. What do we have in Vanguard?
Okay, so I have the court to the Attorney General of the Federation. So the former governorship candidate of the PDP in Ogun State had taken a matter to court, asking the court to, bar the AGF from prosecuting him under the Electoral Act. Him and 9 others, and in the action, the AGF was the sole defendant, and the court awarded some of their reliefs, some not all. They had asked the court to stop the office of the AGF from prosecuting them over an allegation of vote buying, which was leveled against them after the elections by the APC, Dapo Abiodun. And the court awarded that the AGF cannot solely, prosecute them under the Electoral Act. But then the judgment, I've been trying to read it clearly so that I don't misinform or misunderstand it. I think it's a matter of a full day's reading that we don't come and interpret what the court did not interpret. But most of their release were not granted. But this particular one that stops the AG from prosecuting, saying that under the Electoral Act, only INEC has the powers to prosecute any of the offences under the Electoral Act. Okay. But the AG also has power of not prosecute to enter and stop any. So I'm wondering, and so the court cleared it, but it's not something I can immediately comprehend and say here. Okay. But I know that there's a clash, is an issue of conflict, and they're in the court of first instance.
Okay. Any other story in the Vanguard? Oh, we should move to Tribune, Nigerian Tribune. Major headline: Rivers Assembly lists 19 sins of Fubara. Nigeria's inflation rate fell to 23.3% in February, according to the MBS. FCT minister revokes 4,794 land titles over non-payment of ground rent for over 40 years. Order EFCC to retrieve my seized assets from buyers, ex-minister Diziani Beck's court. Oyo Ogbomosho Road contractor moves to site. Protest rocks Abuja over relocation of Benue Tribunal. Tinubu appoints Bishop Kuka pro-chancellor. Dangote begins construction of Itori cement plant to build largest port at Olokola. Do we have stories in the Tribune?
So I have the DSNA story.
Okay.
According to this report, the former Minister for Petroleum has gone to the Federal High Court Abuja asking them to stop EFCC from retrieve her seized assets from EFCC. And according to her, he said, retrieve from persons, either natural or corporate, to whom it has sold off her seized assets. So this means that she's aware that these assets was forfeited temporarily and now forfeited permanently and now sold off. But now she's now coming to court, and I hope it doesn't mean that she has come after she has defeated the fact of wasting the court time, but she has come asking the court to retrieve all those assets from wherever.
Is that even possible?
She's still doing the matter from the
back,
from the ED,
from the Obodoibo. Okay, all right. So here they said the average cost of living improved further as declining food prices and cost of logistics pushed inflation rates lower at 23.18%. So they said the latest inflation report was released yesterday by the National Bureau of Statistics, that's the NBS, and they showed that headline inflation rate dropped by 130 basis points from 24.48% in January to 23.18% in February. The report attributed the decline in headline inflation pressures to notable reductions in prices of general staples, among others. So according to the report, they compared it to the month of January. There was observed decline in average prices of food items like yam, that's yam tuber, potatoes, soya bean, flour, maize, cornmeal, cassava, dry bambaras, beans, among others. And that's, why they are giving us all of this report. So I know that some people are saying there's reduction of prices of food, but I think it hasn't still cut across.
Yeah, it hasn't.
So fruits are still very, very expensive. I bought some fruits yesterday.
The market owner from Dubai.
Eggs are still expensive.
Eggs are very expensive.
Even the yam is still expensive. Because at least we fry yam.
Yam is expensive.
Everything is still expensive. I don't think anything has gone down.
So where are we getting all of this
Even rice
support?
dropped. You know, I finished producing rice and there's a drop in price.
Onions have
and
dropped.
the cost I
Now.
produce with, I'm still dealing with it. Prices are... Go to my 12 and tell us whether prices didn't drop. Onions has dropped.
Onions have dropped.
Tomatoes have dropped.
now,
And they're
so
still
it
there.
will drop
Even
totally.
yam has dropped.
A bag was 160
Depends on where you're buying.
in December.
I buy
Or
3
something
tubers of yam
ridiculous
for
like that.
10,000.
Yam has
Strong-
dropped. I brought from
strong
the
2
north
bags of yam.
recently and it was
I
from
buy
the
my
north.
eggs for 5,500.
Yeah, but
And
Where do you
the
buy your
market-
eggs?
avocado 4 for 1,000. Depending
Should
on the
I
market.
give you money to shop
but on
for?
the mainland,
I don't know where
eggs
Nima,
cheaper.
they
I
I
don't
don't
understand,
understand.
though.
It's not even matter right beside the person.
APC connection. Direct to APC.
To their farm.
To their farm.
To their farm.
Because-
Because I don't understand.
I'm the
5-5.
daughter
What's
of
going
a
on?
farmer, the granddaughter of farmers, the daughter of a market woman selling those same
Okay,
things.
so you know how to
there's
buy
a way
these
I know how
things.
to buy my things.
Okay, all right. Thank you, ladies. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we touch on the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We've not introduced the topic, and YK is already giving us, giving us her thoughts. So yesterday, the power tussle rocking in Rivers State took another dimension as the State House of Assembly issued a notice accusing the state governor, Simi Nalai Fubara, and his deputy Ngozi Odu of alleged misconduct. The 26 members made the misconduct allegations against Fubara in a notice sent to the Speaker Martin Amewule. According to the lawmakers, their action follows Section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and other existing laws. They accused the governor of several impeachable offenses like reckless and unconstitutional spending of public funds, obstructing the assembly's activities, and appointing individuals to government positions without the required screening and confirmation. What are your thoughts on this? We'd also like to get in your call. You can call the numbers on the screen, 2016352013 or 0902416344. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So this case of alleged misconduct, I was not asking myself, please, how many years? Allegedly. How many years has he been in power that we're already alleging all of these things all at once? But I know that YK has been itching to give us her thoughts.
I'm not even itching.
What are your thoughts?
No, say, which may cry for night, Pikin die for morning, and
So
the
na the
witch
witch
may cry
kill
for
am.
night, kill the Pikin. Wike just gave interview.
Okay.
I don't even know why that one is giving interview.
Media
Palace.
Media palace, no? Media palace.
Balance.
He just gave that interview saying if they will impeach him and nothing will happen, so we know where it's coming from.
Oh.
We know where it's coming from, and those are his boys.
Oh.
So please, they should just impeach governor, deputy governor. Deputy governor, we don't get power. Now governor, they do everything.
No, they're joined together. The offices are joined.
Who will come and be governor? Amawali.
Before.
No, it's going to be the speaker.
Of course,
yes, the speaker will be the...
what he wants to do.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do.
Once the
Of
vacancy
course now.
happens, that two of them are impeached.
Look,
Speaker
you see-
holds the office temporarily.
Yeah, let's hear.
You see, this is my point. I am not even saying Fubara did not make mistakes.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Nobody is above mistake. What you should do, if you really have the interest of your state at heart, let it, Shebi, in 2 years' time, his time will be over.
Yeah.
Then you vote him out. Instead, you are creating all this, and you know that River State, most of the interviews I see, the River State people are supporting Fubara.
Fubara, are you serious?
Yes, the people are supporting him.
The people are supporting Fubara.
So what's this hula baloo up and down? The people are
You
ready
know,
for
this- so,
their
Nima,
leader.
wait, hold on, because Nima, I know Nima-
let me even finish with YK.
Because I don't even understand. Wike, face
FCT.
FCT. You won't govern 2 states, only you one person. Come on.
So Nima wait, because I know Nima is going to come from the, you know, the law perspective,
lawyer,
legal, yeah. So she's going to.
Scattering
So let me come from all the angles that I know. So for me, it was Wike that put him there somehow. There was one that made him governor, right?
We know that.
And
So
you know,
he's not
for
doing
Wike, first of all, understand the father. Wike is a brutal politician.
Okay.
He's a very, very strong politician. Okay. You can imagine somebody that is PDP. He's now an FCT minister in an APC government.
He's strong.
You can imagine how powerful.
He's strong.
He's a politician. He doesn't rule with emotions.
He's ruthless.
Yes, he's about his, you know, he followed his target and he got it. So now you, Fubara, instead of you to calm down and follow his lead, sort of, but you're now trying to do, because they said in his commissioners, they said most of the commissioners of the state, 27 of them are the people that were recommended by Wike. That Wike recommended
so
them.
And they are his loyalists.
Yes. And him, the new governor, only brought 3 of them, and 4 of them. He only has 4. So you can imagine how he's not going to be impeached. Because those 27 now, they are all on one side. Then the 3, they are all on the other side. And then they said one of them, I think the one of them passed on, he died or something. Yeah, and then one again decamped. So you can imagine just as only 2. So I'm wondering how strong. I'm wondering where he's going to get the strength to fight. Yes, the lawmakers.
Okay, I thought you were talking about commissioners.
Hey. Lawmakers.
The lawmakers. Yeah, we know that the commission, but you see, they have to, the legal way, they must write to the Attorney General. It's the Attorney General that will set up the panel that we talk about. So the Attorney General is pro Fubara. That's why the lawmakers are trying to remove
the Attorney General so that they have a free way.
So they will have a free way.
A way. Let me come to
Nima. Young pepper scatter. And you know me, I've just been talking this talk from day one because it was Kano State that was the impeachment case. I think Rimi was governor that we studied. I remember saying that day to my friends, which governor will know if the House of Assembly cannot come out? That the House of Assembly are powerful, which is why they are the people. We run a representative democracy. Yeah. All the people that you say they are supporting the governor, the people they put to represent them are not. See this life no balance.
And those are the ones that have influence.
Thank you. So if BC and me and the Ramatute governor, now you after God, now you. The people we send governor and I don't need them. And those are the people that the Constitution has empowered to represent us. Where will you play your politics?
Exactly. With those people.
With those people. Hi. And me, I don't see anybody that I cannot lobby. Just, you know what this one thing is, give it. You know, even the Wike himself. You know what the mistakes Siminalaye Fubara made, as far as I am concerned, is to go and copy what happened in the Edo State and think Rivers State is one peculiar state. When Edo people come, they come and they don't know the Lagos game that time. And then a lot of things were happening, things were not working. And then the governor made sure that there was no House of Assembly. So the way they went that day to go and look at the House of Assembly burning, I was like, this governor, you are digging a hole. Personally. And it was alleged that he said the structure was defective and so he had to bring it down. A place where they will sit without providing another place where they will sit. Because each of these houses, you cannot be seen to be creating an impediment for the House of Assembly to function because you fear an impeachment, and then come back to the House of Assembly tomorrow. You must come with clean hands. Yeah. You know? So when that demolition was happening and then they started sitting in their residences, I called the fear. Say, what is the executive backup plan? Because what he was trying to do is that make sure that they don't have a proper sitting. Then they went to court. And then till the court now finished the matter. And you were not playing the politics at all. And even after, if they give you 48 hours, it's not like you are reprinting the budget now. Ego now started playing now, delaying the response. Immediately, if it is me that was governor, now 6 hours I go take them budget back. Appropriation. In fact,
sharp.
But he was
ready.
I know my appointees. It's not the kind of talk. You know when you are talking with your people behind the scene, be saying, don't mind them. They can do nothing. You see those people that are around, say, governor, after you now then gonna be your problem. Yes. You play your politics, call your lawyers. You should even have your own friends, closer friends. Those ones that know how to say
good advice.
I will tell you, say, the way this thing is going, skewed well on your favor, make we do them like that. You know? What they did was that the 48 hours, I was reading the papers here and I was reacting on the show. You can see the videos. That how many minutes is this budget representation? Because if they put that one issue down, you could have scaled that one first. Now they have 19.
Exactly.
Now, and that one was a Supreme Court judgment. You said you will follow the judgment. You said that your lawyers are waiting to advise you. You delayed.
No.
Hold on
to get the
judgment record.
Yes.
The record. But it took time.
The judgment that was public knowledge.
No.
Auntie, let me tell you what to do to get the judgment record. Hold on now.
Let me hear what
Hold on.
He went.
If a court rules to get CTC of court judgment, it's another matter. It's not like you did not sit for the court to give their ruling.
Okay.
You heard it. So that you are waiting for it before you do. Which one, Gongo, did you want to follow at the time? Which one was your emergency? Because if you want to claim, you will come with your hands. Everything will be clean like this. All of us, even me here, there were days I blamed the House of Assembly. Akini, the day they said they gave him 48 hours that they wanted to go on recess, I was like, the recess of 2 years, where una go? Where una dey court? Where una no sit? When I see they talk of recess, which people should not go for recess? I said that about the House of Assembly, but the governor on his own part, for me, he was not vigilant. And equity only is the vigilant. The advisors, at the time when he took that judgment, he also gave an incitive order, which we read in the paper. So he not be like saying he do am well. Ordinarily presents the appropriation bill again.
Okay.
Let the House of Assembly be debating that while you are buying time to see each person in their corners.
To lobby.
You understand? By now, if it was me, I would have divided those wicked loyalists too.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Because that's the only way. You cannot have all 27 and say you don't have a quorum now. They have
Exactly.
27.
Yes, they already have it.
their head.
So that's where my point is coming from. It's already skewed against you in the first place. How is skewed against it?
Yeah.
Now, how do you take them to your side when these people are dying with hard loyalists? They've already picked a side.
Exactly.
It's like just quoting the scripture now where God said, Jacob I love, Esau I hate. How would Esau have turned it around? It has already taken a side. So what else could he have done?
Confronted God.
And guess what he did?
Because what he did, each time the military, he did public briefing. He wasn't playing with them at their game. See, their game would have been stupid.
To conquer.
Yes.
How?
Una say budget.
I already like this person.
Budget.
You are coming to me.
BC, you say budget.
But I know where my mind is
2 hours
already.
or 48 hours take budget.
Okay.
Let you be the one to say, I don't want to take budget.
That will not change anything.
He went out of that time. He went out of that time. The weekend after. It was on the Monday after I read that he was inviting them 10 a.m. before the end of that day for a legislative party. That party he was calling was still preceding the presentation of the appropriation bill. That budget.
And guess what? And he has not even the lawmakers.
Me,
You know,
I pray
as
for
of
them. I
that
pray
time,
for
he
him now.
even stopped paying them salaries. He stopped paying them salaries. These are people that
He
he's supposed
stopped their
to woo them.
salaries.
He's supposed to woo them and bring them to his side.
But they don't have
He needs to
influence
play
now.
politics.
Amatu, thank you.
They
What
have to
mislead
play
us don't really
politics.
get definition. No,
You
that one
should
would
put emotions aside.
Wait.
Well, let's hear what it is.
Let's remember what happened. Though.
Yeah.
Remember, they are the ones that left PDP for APC.
And defected.
They defected. And when you
Yes.
defect, you lose your seat.
Yes.
So listen, that was what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
When after they have made the public announcement, all of us heard them say they have defected to APC. That was when he now reacted and said, okay, they have lost their seats. Now, that was on that basis. They have lost their seats, that he stopped paying them. I'm not saying that he didn't go and he should have gone to go and be begging them. But how can you go and beg people who are diehard loyalists of the opposition? How they became
if he
opposition
needs to beg to remain there, he should beg.
We have to
It's
take
part
a
of
breather
politics.
here when we come
It's
back.
part of politics. He should
We'll
beg.
continue this.
He
I
should
want
beg
to break
to be there.
See, when we come back. I need to go breathe. I need oxygen.
But they run for ground like cockroach.
Yes, now.
When we come back, I
I will
want
not
to
beg
answer.
to remain there.
I will soup to conquer.
Play the politics.
Let's take a short break now. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Yes. So Nima, you were saying something because I have a
Yes, I
question
wanted to respond
ask.
to Auntie Annie.
You want to respond to me?
No, please. When you said that they defected and so they had lost their seats,
Okay.
that was easy. You see those preemptive things? That's what killed the governor's position. Ordinarily, when they defected, the Tambuwans of those days that wanted to defect to the APC, the people who contested their defection and the loss of their seats went to court. It is the court who has the powers to determine a vacant seat based on defection. And there's a defense to that under our Electoral Act and our Constitution that if you can defect if your house, that's your party, is in conflict. And they brought that defense and their APC's defection was standing.
Okay.
Now the governor wanted to declare the vacant seat because of defection in Rivers State. He declared it as what? Is it the judiciary? Is the executive? He didn't face any court to get that of those seats vacant. He would have left them as an House of Assembly in their defective structure while the court or judgment would have come now to declare their seats vacant. But he didn't. He has no powers because he's not the constituents who voted them in, denying their local constituents representation because you are governor.
Okay.
Are we now running an emperorship? Abina, what we go call them? So when he did that, they then had a good stand going to court and establishing that conflict that allows their defection. And then we are here today.
Excuse
See, emotion not play this game.
He no play at all.
Now,
That's
Anthony is
able to
talking
play
about
the game.
them being extreme loyalists to Wike. Are we forgetting that Wike put this governor there?
Yeah. So
They were
where
on
did
the
fallout come
same
from?
team. This game of Wike being in APC, Rivers State Federal going to APC in election and the state going to PDP. He was in public news with Wike's band singing it every day. They paying them, we go, they show them. So you were in the know of it. When did you now stop playing that politics with them?
Excuse me.
It was the knowledge of what you have just enough.
You don't
for
have
you.
the-
Abi, you were following Obaseki's advice to not have an House of Assembly.
Okay, let's
as
take
a
this
governor.
call. Then I come to YK. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning,
sir.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, please?
We can hear
I
you.
hear you very well.
Yeah, the topic you guys are discussing is very interesting. But quickly, the issue of Rivers State, for me personally, I wouldn't blame the House of Assembly member and the speakers.
Okay.
I think the error started when the governor went to demolish the House of Assembly. That is a fundamental issue that breaks the camel on the back.
Okay.
That's where the governor gets it all wrong. Governments in Nigeria, according to the constitution, have three major arms: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. In the executive, with the rascality of Ubara, he had the audacity to pull down the House of Assembly. The third arm is just like a human being with the head, the arm, and the leg. The head decides to cut down the two hands, or the head decides to cut down the two legs. How then would the head survive? Ubara already destroyed his own future by doing what he did in 2023. I think the problem is happening now. If I were him, I will go back to Pandes. Let Pandes go and plead with Wike. Forum. Let them go and plead with Wike because Fubara himself has done this grave. The problem is with Fubara is like somebody has said.
Can I ask you a question?
The people around Fubara are not giving him the right answer.
Can I ask you a question?
The Ijaw nation are contributing majorly to the problem of
YK has a question for you, Rotimi.
Nigeria
Rotimi,
is
can I ask you a question?
where you bully people with violence. Because your brother is the governor, you begin to threaten everybody in Nigeria that if the governor, this is a political issue and a constitutional matter. Allow the law, allow the constitution to get discussed. Why are you bullying people, threatening you will pull down the oil pipeline, you will destroy everything, or the
Rotimi, can you hear me? Rotimi, can you hear me? I think we just have to let him go. What did you want to ask?
The guy is really ranting. Because he says Wike. Excuse me, is Wike governor?
It's
Not anymore, but he has a hold.
You see, this is my problem with Nigerian politics. He is not governor again because he wants to still be governor by proxy. Is it right? The answer is yes or no. Is it right?
No.
Exactly.
It's not right, yeah.
And that is my
But
point.
that's where we are.
And that is what caused the problem.
Yes.
Because he was making some demands of Fubara,
Yes.
and Fubara was not ready to play ball.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't even know the demands, but that's what
Allegedly.
Fubara said at the time.
But YK, unfortunately, we have to go. I also wanted to ask, what exactly are the allegations? Gross misconduct.
19. I should read it.
Overspending. They have it
Yeah,
spelled out.
19 things.
Ordination
in bullet points.
Yeah.
Bullet points. Yes.
So shouldn't that be investigated before they start talking about
I say even reading it, I say it cannot baff it clean. If we throw a missile Okun, you no go clean of the allegation of the gross misconduct.
All of it, they really dug him deep. This is
They have to go to the Attorney General affairs. They can't just, you think they can just remove him like that?
But they will do something about the Attorney General.
It was the law abhors a vacuum.
It was even when
Since the Attorney General will refuse to carry out his constitution, they can Attorney General's offices, certain offices, that of the Accountant General, the Attorney General, and the Deputy and the Governor. Those are offices that the Constitution takes care of their duties and their entitlements.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do his job, there will be a law that allows that place to be covered. You cannot hold the House of Assembly. That is the people.
He's not good. He didn't say not his job. He will investigate.
Then we will now say another one says Mago. Fubara play game. Go and meet the people that you have offended. Tell them, see, let the river say not boy. Because I have seen the Ijaw caucus is speaking.
Yeah.
The Asaris, they've threatened. They've warned the president. They've done all sorts of things. And we're looking and we're thinking it's normal. Tomorrow now they'll go and set fire on one place and be burning it. And we'll say it's normal because of one person and his ego.
He needs to
calm down.
And
you know the part where you know
how many persons?
It's two people.
I'm telling you, yes, it's two people.
Okay, why can you
like their ego?
Auntie, anyway,
why can you know he introduced his own speaker? You know he introduced his own speaker. That means Fubara, he introduced his own speaker.
And he presented budget to 4 members.
4 members. He
How is that
speaker? And at the end of the day, the other speaker outshines his own.
Excuse me.
That's to tell you that his own
is it not clear that we were watching Amawale when the Supreme Court judge made
You want to give us the steps?
He should just go and beg.
His powers came back. His powers returned. Maize. Somebody that was walking like one chicken inside water when they removed him. But that's the same waka Fubara is working now. Now the same waka Fubara is working now.
Thank you, ladies.
Like somebody that is.
Thank you, ladies, and mental gen.
Fubara, go and beg.
For the
just
drama,
beg. If you still want to be a governor.
For the drama you people are enacting today, God bless you. But we have to take a short break. We have a lineup of other things to discuss today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. So last Thursday at the Lagos State Secretariat in Alausa, Ikeja, some supervisors overseeing street sweepers working with the Lagos State Waste Management Authority lamented what they described as poor wages and inadequate welfare support from the agency. Earlier, a video went viral of showing the street sweeper expressing frustration over being shortchanged, maltreated by her superiors, and difficult working conditions. Joining us this morning in the studio is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadigesi. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You can also join the conversation and call us on 02016352013 or 09024163440, or you can tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So, let's first of all welcome. Let me welcome you again.
Thank you.
Before we fire.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome.
So let's start with this. You're welcome. YK is not it's suspect, but you know. Let me call for a video first, and then I would ask you my question. So is the video ready?
Dr. Muyiwa Gbadigesi, the CEO of Roma. We are calling you out. We are begging you, sir. Mrs. Fola Shade Kadiri, the head public affairs for Loma, we are begging you, Mr. Oluwakemi Suleiman, Mr. Kunle Adebiyi, Executive Director of Finance of Loma, we are calling you out, sir. We are begging you in the name of God. Mrs. Modupe Opo, Mrs. Jelila Tademiron, ma'am, and other bosses, we are begging you people. We are begging you, we are calling you out. People should please help us and ask these people. I'm not very sure that it's blood that is running in you people's vein. I'm not sure. Because we just don't understand why you people are treating us this very bad. It is absolutely wrong. It is very bad. You understand that you are our boss. Without you, there's nobody like us. And without us too, there's nobody like people because we are the one working for you. What time people say Yaika? They say Eja or that Dubai. Ejo kò sí office yẹn wà nínú office.
So this is obviously a lamentation video about the way they are being treated. And I also want to tie this to another video that went viral some time ago by a COP member who was, although she's since apologized, but she was talking about the fact that Lagos is dirty and smelling. So I'd like you to respond to those two.
Okay.
What do you think about it?
Okay, I thought you
what do you think about the video? Yes.
So in with respect to the Loma sweeper, who, by the way, that particular sweeper left the program several months ago.
Okay.
So that's a fact. With respect to their pay, they are part-time workers. They're not full-time staff. And they're not staff of Lagos State government.
Okay.
However, once the minimum wage was approved, we decided that even though they're not direct employees of Lagos State, we should adjust their wage to reflect the new minimum wage, which is what we did. And so the current pay they're getting is 40,000 naira a month.
Okay.
And that's for 4 hours of work daily. So that's prorated. If they were full-time staff, they would be making, at that rate, they would be making 80,000 a month, which is 10,000 above the national minimum wage. So it's untrue that we're not, that the government doesn't care about them. The street sweeping program is the flagship program of Loma because these are the first-line employees who are directly responsible for keeping the streets clean. And this program has been in existence since 2008. And at every point along the way, the government has prioritized their welfare. So, I mean, when the minimum wage went up to 35,000, we adjusted accordingly. And the current governor has always prioritized their pay. As soon as state employees are paid, we get paid to pay the contractor companies who then pay the sweepers. So in addition, we have improved the health and safety. We do regular health checkups for them. And in fact, we started looking more closely at the results of those health checkups. We found out that some of them have cataracts, which means that if they're working on the street, they're more at risk. And so we are going to do surgeries for them to make sure that for free. We're also introducing health insurance, which is why a few months ago we did a biometric registration through LASRA. So yes, there may be issues with the program. It's it's partly a empowerment program.
Okay.
Because our expectation is that they do have other means of livelihood. And so the idea is that they sweep for a few hours in the morning and then they can go on. Yes. And so one of the things that the government is also doing is to profile them more closely to see what are those livelihood, what else are they doing beyond the sweeping so that we can support them accordingly. Okay. For example, if they're hairdressers, we can provide them equipment so that can help their business. So we're doing that. These are actively so
ongoing. You're saying now that at the time that lady made that complaint a few months ago,
she made the complaint last week. The video came out last week, but she's not a sweeper right now.
Oh,
so
but she had swept before.
That's from all indications. She swept at some point.
She doesn't work for you guys anymore.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
Cleverly wore the uniform
to do the video.
Okay, so
why did she do? Sorry, why did you do the video if she doesn't work for you?
You see, we're moving into a political space now. This is 2 years to 2027. So you're going to see a lot of this. I'm not saying that. In fact, we actually went as far as investigating whether the reason we wanted to know whether she was a sweeper was to make sure that her CEO, these are the vendor companies that manage them on our behalf, to make sure that the CEO was not shortchanging her. And then we discovered that she's not even part of the sweepers. Yeah. So we will always respond to these kinds of complaints. But I believe that, and this ties into the other video that you talked about, that as we move into a political period, there's going to be a lot of complaints. People are not happy, one thing or the other, and there will be a lot of
So you're saying Lagos is not smelling and Lagos is not dirty?
Lagos is one of the cleanest cities on the African continent. I can say that. The last Dirty December, if you listen to people who visited and their comments, Lagos is clean and it's getting cleaner. We're not saying that there are not issues anywhere. So let me give you an insight into what's going on in Lagos. We're all familiar with climate change.
Yeah.
One of the results of climate change, because of the march of the Sahara Desert, is that you have climate migrants. And in Lagos, you have millions of them. From my research at Loma, based on the volume of waste we're collecting from open spaces, we have no less than 1 million climate migrants living in open spaces, under bridges, and you can see them when you drive around. Nowadays, in the morning, you find people sleeping on the roadside.
Bridge, yeah.
They are day laborers, because that's the easiest job for them to do, or they're cart pushers, or they are scavengers. They gather recyclables. At the end of the day, they go and they buy tramadol and all these drugs, and then in the morning, you find them sleeping on the roadside. And these are unaccounted, and they generate a lot of waste that goes into the public spaces as well.
Okay, because it's possible that Lagos will smell because the open defecation is still a thing due to the migration that you talk about.
Exactly.
On that axis where I live, a lot of things are very saddening. But you mentioned that these people from the video we just watched, that some of them are not staff. Most of them are not staff of Loma; they are contract staff, which means that you have companies who bid for this sweeping portions contracts and then employ sweepers. Sometime back, a video had broken where a sweeper was alleging that the company in question was either short paying them, owing them over 3 months of salaries. So the issues are many. Now my question is, how do you now become a check? Because when the video surfaces like this, now you've mentioned that she's no longer been in the employment for 7 months.
Yes.
But that one will not concern me. Once I see video and I see uniform, that's the way I would look. Yeah. And I would not need to look for companies. It's you people that I will look at, because I believe that's how it's supposed to be. So how do you now award these contracts, and how often do you review them based on this feedback that these sweepers give you? Because it is possible that they are like that. The other video, I believed that video very much, because I believe that, I looked at some of these sweepers sometimes and I wonder, how can you even see somebody? I had to employ someone who was sweeping along the Abeokuta Road at the Ladipo bus stop, where my law office was before, as a sweeper in my office, as opposed to the number of hours she has to put in on the road and the stress of the work. So how often do you review them? How often do you review them based on feedback of their own staff? And how do you do a check to see that whatever is due to the workers are paid and at the time it is due, as opposed to just paddy or remini? I will talk to him on the side. Okay,
so we review their contracts annually. Okay. Currently we're doing a review right now, and we go as far as asking for their bank statements to ensure that they're actually paying the sweepers as when they're supposed to pay them. And when we see such complaints, because we're constantly, we do an annual comprehensive review, but we also have monthly reports from the CEO, from the supervisors, to confirm what they've done, how much work have they done, are their routes clean, the staff paid, are they observing safety regulations. So it's an ongoing thing, and we do penalize the CEOs who are found wanting. We met with them yesterday. I had a meeting with them yesterday. These are residents of Lagos who are very passionate about the environment, which is why they're involved in this program. It's not something that they can make a lot of money from, but they're interested in the clean environment. And so for us, it's also an opportunity to call out to people to get involved. There are a lot of people who come to us with various support. They give us uniforms, they give us implements, and you can see some of the sweepers, they have branded, corporate sector.
Yes.
And even some of your panel members have done a great job for
Murayo.
us. Murayo did last December, I believe,
Yes.
brought some welfare materials for the sweepers, which they were very appreciative of.
Yeah.
We have 980 routes, so the government can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And that's why we have these CEOs, because they're members of the community. So many of them, it's just within their area. They can go out in the morning. A lot of them are retirees. They go out, they monitor the sweepers, and some of them are even spending more than what we give them for the sweepers, just to ensure that. So it's a successful
Is it
possible
possible you owe them also,
We have to go on a
as the
break.
contractors?
We have
No,
to
we
go
do
on a break.
Contractors
Yeah.
at any point?
We
You know
don't-
what?
we don't
You
really.
answer the question when we come back. We have to go on a break now. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We still have our MD for Loma in the house, Ms. Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesi, and Ramatu was ready with a question.
So I agree with you that Lagos is clean, but I think we should still do more. We should still do better to make it one of the cleanest states in this. So, and you mentioned the fact that, we need to take care of our employees. And you're like, you are planning the health insurance stuff and everything. And so I'm wondering why it took you this long for you to start planning all of this, the health insurance and all of those things that you mentioned. And then you've mentioned it now, let it not just be that you are just talking for talking's sake. How fast are you going to implement all of these things so that at least they can start enjoying the benefits, so that you can stop this video from coming out again?
From next quarter. So we've done the biometric registration, because you remember they're not our direct employees. We actually had to go out, register them, profile them, and now we're moving to the stage of enrolling them in Ilera Eco. So we're in talks with the agency in charge of that now. So from next quarter, we will have them on the health insurance program. All our other staff
So
are
hold you
already
to it.
insured.
Next quarter. It's
Yes.
starting from April, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, your question?
So I have this message from Tantoluwa Shindara. She says, I have a friend working for you, sir. You've held their salary for months. That's from him. And I know that because we have some coming around the shrine, and they're always begging for money. They don't have money. So we give them money, to clean the gutters and everything. So are you sure you are really on top of this payment of these people? One. Two, in the Western world, they use all these things to make the job easy. When are you going to implement that so that they will stop saying Lagos is stinking?
Okay, so for the
You have to ask this question.
for the first question, I'd like to know details of that complaint so we can investigate.
Okay, they should send details.
So
Yeah,
I will
we'll
send him a
investigate that.
message.
It should not be from Loma that's happening. It could be maybe a CEO. They might have some kind of dispute, but
that's
we
why
will
I was talking
investigate
about
that.
reviewing them.
Yeah, we'll
they're
investigate that if I can get the details. For the second question, we already use mechanical sweepers on some of our routes.
Okay.
What we've done is we've classified the routes and we've identified vulnerable routes. So for those vulnerable routes, we're going to expand mechanical sweeping so that you're not going to see sweepers on major highways, third mainland, and we plan to bring in that equipment by the end of this year.
Okay.
That
2025.
equipment,
By
yes,
March.
and including
Say
part
end
of the reason why if you go to some areas you smell something. Some of that smell is from methane, and these are the things that are called greenhouse gases.
Okay.
So when we're talking about global warming, you have to reduce that. We have a lot of organic waste, and unfortunately our people are dumping organic waste into the drainage channels, primary, secondary, tertiary.
Okay, so
We
your
have
market
to go.
Can you
You don't want us to ask this question.
Yeah,
He
we
was
have
in the
to
middle
go.
of a question.
Yeah, I think
was still
I would
talking.
like to come back so we can talk about some
Yes.
of the big ticket items,
Yeah.
programs of Lagos State that will help us to process waste much better.
Yeah.
I
Thank
would
you
love to
so
come back
much
and talk
for
about that. Thank
you
you
know, joining
for
us
having
today.
me.
We've been talking to the MD CEO, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesi, and you have Geshin, and you
The
have
Essin
enlightened
don't
us
be
on
pronounced.
what's happening in Lagos and environs. Thank you so much. We hope
Thank
to have you come back so that you have like a full show with you where you enlighten us. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, the show continues. Stay with us.
Ready for our bullets.
Oh.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. March 18th every year is World Young Rheumatic Diseases Day. It's a day set aside to raise awareness for rheumatic diseases in children and young people and empowering them to thrive. So joining us in the studio is Nigeria's first pediatric rheumatologist and consultant pediatrician, Dr. Ayodele Faleye. He's also an employee of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for that welcome.
First
Thank you.
pediatric rheumatologist.
Pediatric rheumatologist.
How did that happen?
Well, that happened when I was in training as a resident doctor at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in Ikeja. We were having children on the pediatric ward, but we have to send consults to the adult side before they can be seen on the pediatric ward. That was when I noticed that gap, that, oh, there's no one within the building who is a pediatrician that can be attending to these children. So I joined the adult rheumatology unit for 1 year for a training because there was no pediatrician in Nigeria to train me.
Wow.
So after then, I proceeded to South Africa, the University of Cape Town and the Red Cross War Memorial Children's Hospital for 1 year. And after that, I won a fellowship, like a scholarship in the UK, to be precise, Liverpool, the University of Liverpool and the Hilda A. Children's Hospital. Then after my training in 2022, that's February 2022, I came back to LASUT.
Well done. Well done.
I'm grateful the LASUT management, the Department of Pediatrics and the adult rheumatology unit, they supported me and they created the Pediatric Rheumatology Clinic and a unit. So now we have the clinic once in a week, then we have our patients. But prior to that, it was a struggle.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming home.
Thank you.
exactly.
For not disappearing there. Being
Yes, now.
So tell us about
Japada.
this rheumatic, what's it?
Rheumatic diseases.
Rheumatic diseases.
Okay.
How does it present in children?
Thank you so much. When we hear the word rheum, what should come to mind are the joints. You know, in the community, you hear rheumatism, everything. Oh, at the joints.
Like
It's either
people like us.
it's either the joint is painful,
Okay.
that's what we call arthralgia, or is swollen, painful, warm, and the individual is unable to use it. That is arthritis.
Okay.
It's not arthritis until it is swollen. Oh. Joint pain is different from arthritis. When you say you have joint pain, you are talking about arthralgia. But when it is swollen and there is pain, and at the same time you're unable to make use of that joint, then that is arthritis. Now, I'm here to tell us this, that arthritis do occur in children. Children can have arthritis. You know, when you hear arthritis, you'll be thinking, oh, elderly people, you know, due to wear and tear over the years. You see, especially in women, you know. But I'm here to tell us that arthritis do occur in children. And the type of arthritis that a rheumatologist sees is the autoimmune type. Most of the, when you say rheumatic diseases, you are saying that you are talking about diseases that affect the musculoskeletal system. Is either the skeleton, you have the joints, you have the bones, you have the muscles, that are not due to trauma. That joint is painful, that joint is swollen, that joint is warm, you're unable to use it, and you did not fall down. And it has lasted for at least 6 weeks. Chronicity. I'm not talking about 2 weeks and then you are fine, probably because, you know, you walked around and you're tired or something. But something that has persisted, affecting daily living, chronicity. Then you start talking about rheumatic diseases. Now, let me further tell us that they are mostly diseases of autoimmune origin. Not everything, not all that we manage are autoimmune diseases, but almost all that we see are diseases of autoimmune. What do I mean by autoimmune origin?
That's what I wanted to ask.
Because I don't want to be blowing grammar that we are not going to understand.
Exactly.
We all have the immune system. The environment is not 100% hygienic. You touch the table, we breathe in here. We can do without breathing. We breathe in, we go around, and even if you use your hand sanitizer, you know, sometimes you forget. So we come across germs all the time, but we are not sick all the time because we all have the immune system that protects us, fights against infections or germs that we come across every day today. But sometimes the immune system goes erratic. Now cannot recognize the body again. Instead of fighting germs that we come across, they start fighting the body. So when they pick on the joint, they tend to destroy that joint. When they pick, apart from the joint, you know, I talked more about the joints because that is common to all our diseases. Now there are some of the diseases that we manage that can affect the eye. That means the child affected can go blind if special care is not taken. The kidneys could fail. The heart could accumulate fluid. The lungs could accumulate fluid. Breathing could become difficult. We could have children with irrational talk. That is brain involvement. They don't know where they are again. So those are some of the symptoms that these patients do present with. Now, your question is still, what are rheumatic diseases? Now we have several types. The most common one is the one we call juvenile idiopathic arthritis. That means the child has a swollen joint that has lasted for at least 6 weeks, and the individual must be less than 16 years before you can say this is juvenile. Now that is the most common one. Now we have what we call juvenile lupus. I don't know if you've heard about lupus.
Yes.
Yes, we have quite a lot of them in the clinic. These are diseases that have been termed to be rare. But to me, I would say it is not rare, but we are not looking out for it because we don't know about it. Most of the times we found out in lawsuits that most of the patients that we thought had infection in the past that we were administering antibiotics to for months, keep going home, coming back, they are likely to be cases of autoimmune disorders that we did not diagnose and we lost before the subspecialty came in, you know, because most of the signs and symptoms of these diseases will mimic what we have commonly in our environment, like malaria, the so-called typhoid people talk about, TB. You could find a child coughing for months, losing weight, and you know, you keep screening for TB. Some will even do presumptive TB treatment. The child is not getting better, and the organs are getting damaged. It will be a case of lupus. So the issue we have is that there is underdiagnosis, under recognition. This subspecialty is not part of the medical school curriculum till now. Yes. So we are not being taught in the medical school. Most people are graduating, they don't know about this. Is it that the parents have poor health-seeking behavior? No, they don't. Most of them will have been to the hospital in and out. The healthcare worker too does not understand what is wrong with the child.
Hey.
So, and that is why we are using the opportunity of today's celebration. In fact, I must thank you for being part of our celebration. You know, you are promoting the subspecialty. What we are trying to tell people is that it's now beyond malaria, it's beyond infection, it's beyond TB. We have heard a lot about all this. Let's look at this particular, you know, subspecialty. Now, we have been in the clinic for almost 3 years now. The clinic was created on the 15th of February. Now we have almost 200 children with these diseases.
In Lagos?
Yes.
Because okay, let me ask you my question. Is it common here? Because we don't hear of it, but the only reason we don't hear of it is because we don't know it.
Yes.
So I was going to ask, do you really have patients? So we have it here.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Like the rheumatic, sorry, Nima. So I wanted to ask you this question. Is it that you just, the child just sits down and just start having that joint pain or something?
Yes.
Because I remember my daughter was complaining of this, or could something have triggered it?
Okay.
Because when she you know, she used to run for her house, and then after some time she started complaining about her knee. Could it have been that maybe that was what made it, maybe started, caused that thing? Because she had to go and see a rheumatologist at some point. Because of that joint, because she was always complaining about the pain.
joint pain.
Yeah, the joint pain.
Yes. You know, not all joint pain and swelling in children are due to of autoimmune origin, like I mentioned. But when we talk about the kind that a rheumatologist, that is of importance because of morbidity and mortality that can cause death, their arthritis is usually termed inflammatory. When they wake up in the morning, they are stiff. They are unable to jump out of bed immediately. When they come out of bed, they limp for about 30 minutes to 1 hour before they, you know, get balanced with their musculoskeletal system. And there is another type. It has nothing to do with when you first wake up. It is after you must have gone around during the day and you are tired, you have the pain. Now, in little girls, we have what we call growing pain. They can have it in the lower limb while growing, and they do overcome it. That may not be of autoimmune origin. It's due to growth, and as they grow, it resolves. Likely that is what you're, and they also see us. So, but it is not of autoimmune origin. Yeah.
Okay, doctor, I wanted to ask, you know, because I'm worried as you're discussing some elderly illnesses and informing us how they are common in kids, in children. What are the chances of the children that you have seen? Are they able to beat it, recover from it over time as they grow? Because, you know, sometimes locally we say the bone is still soft, they grow for hand again. Are they able to beat it? What are the chances of survival when it causes a mortality risk for them? Is it something that with some early detection and help, they can get better from?
Yeah, thank you for your question. That is a bit emotional. Okay. Most of these diseases are chronic. They are for life.
Hey.
There are some of the diseases in which those children can outgrow, like juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Some children are lucky. It resolved, and they are now off medications. In fact, those are the children I give 1-year appointments. Just go to school, see me after 1 year. I just want to see, hope you are still fine, and they are off medications. But for those that we have called, you know, the juvenile connective tissue disorder, like lupus, juvenile dermatomyositis, scleroderma, we have all these in clinic. It's not to exaggerate. Those ones, they live on medications throughout life. The reason being this, it's just like having sickle cell disease. You know, they have crisis. These ones too, they have what we call flares. You know, you place them on medication. Sometimes probably they have outgrown the dose. You have to adjust the dose. In the course of doing that, they can come back they can come down with the symptoms they presented with a diagnosis, or with those symptoms that were not there at diagnosis, which we call flares. New ones coming up. So they must, you know, stay close to their doctors. Follow-up is very important. Yes.
Does their blood type or genotype predispose them to? Because I had my best friend, she's late now. She used to have rheumatism when we were in secondary school, and it was very she wouldn't attend school.
Yes.
And then she later passed, and the blood type was supposed to be SC. And my former PA is always, from childhood till date, always in rheumatic pain. You know, so she can't do cold water. Sometimes she go days without taking her bath. Does their blood type predispose them to this kind of rheumatic pain? And You know?
I like that question. Sickle cell, patients with sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, you know, they are different, but I won't go into that. They can be predisposed to rheumatic diseases because, you know, they are at risk of infection and their immune system can go overactive. And sometimes they could now develop one of these diseases because of the hyperactivity of the immune system. Let me share my experience with you in Lasuth. We've had children with sickle cell anemia that were coming in and out of the emergency room. Each time she comes for blood transfusion. The PC will have gone down again, over and over with this fever. Within 6 months, she was transfused 13 times.
Whoa, that's huge.
So then I was in training with the adult rheumatologist there, and I came to the pediatric department to give like a talk during a grand round, and the unit was now like, I came to talk about neonatal lupus because there are
neonatal too.
Yes, but it's so the issue, I came to talk about it, and the unit now felt, oh, maybe we should allow the rheumatology unit to review these patients. And when I moved closer, you know, lupus has some characteristics. I looked at the joint, then on the face, there were some skin rashes. They were looking like that of lupus. We asked them to take blood samples, and it was actually a case of lupus. A sickle cell anemia patient with lupus
again.
Yes, so they are predisposed. They can have this. And there is an article on Google that I wrote an abstract 2 years ago on coexistence of rheumatic diseases with sickle cell anemia, where I reported, I think, 5 to 6 patients that we have seen. Some even do have juvenile idiopathic arthritis among the sickle cell anemia patients.
My heart is so broken.
So when the child, I mean, becomes an adult, the medication must change
to adult,
to the adult dose. And do they have a chance of it, like, evening out? It's not so bad because they become adults.
Yeah, it's the same medications that we use to treat. The only thing is that you know, in pediatrics we use the weight and the height to calculate the, you know, the way we do our things is just different from that of adults. We need all body anthropometry to calculate the dosage of our. So it's the same drug, and when they grow into adulthood, usually at the age of 18, we let them go to the adult side. Though I'm struggling with that because most of my patients don't want to leave the clinic. They want to stay with me, but you know, this is pediatrics. You have to move to the adult side. So there's no much difference. We just give them a detailed referral, then we have a meeting with the adult rheumatologist before they transition to the other side.
Are there things that we can do at home to help them to get better life? You know, someone suggested hot water bottle when they have those, because I think it was cold that used to cause the rheumatic pain. So are there things that we can do? Warm socks? Are there anything outside medicine
to make life easier for them?
Yes. For the issue of you know, rubbing, some do massage, hot water. One has to be careful. Aboniki, yes, I heard one has to be careful. Personally, we don't advocate or we don't encourage them to go for a massage or rubbing, especially when inflammation is active. Imagine a child with a swollen joint that is painful. I'm careful not to refer even to a physiotherapist on time. I want to bring down the inflammation first. The pain should have subsided because I don't want the child to cry. So it is when we are done with that that we can say, okay, if you want to now go for exercise, because before most of them come around, they have lost function in that joint. There is contracture. I understand what you are trying to say. It's either the wrist completely bent. There are children in the clinic that when their neck can only look forward, they can't look at the sides anymore. They can't look at the back. Because the joints in the neck, they've been affected and they are stiff. Imagine having a child giving us history of 6 years. And they've been going in and out of even teaching hospital. And they were telling them that they will outgrow it. They should be putting cold ice block and stuff on it.
Because they don't know about it.
They don't know they lose function.
So do you sometimes correct, can it be corrected through surgery?
Yes. Yes, but that is because before you can even go for surgery, they will see us. the inflammation must be properly controlled. It is when it's controlled that we now start gentle physiotherapy.
Okay.
Some may regain the function, some may not.
Yeah.
And
So we have to go, doctor.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know how many are you in that department? And are there other people who are interested in this line of medicine? Do you have people who are learning under you? Do you have students now who are interested, who are reading up on this? Because you were like 1 in a million. And we'd like to see, because this has become prevalent, we have a lot of these cases, many more people, you know, picking interest in this particular aspect of medicine and going into it. Do you see that happening? And do you have people under you as well?
I don't have. In fact, my colleagues were disappointed I came back home to be talking about this. That probably I should have stayed back in the UK and be looking for ways to join me, that I should have told them about how to join me back there.
Whoa.
Yes, they felt so disappointed. They felt I'm weird. So most people now, the issue of Japa syndrome, the issue of the fact that you have to be going out for advocacy, raise awareness. Who wants to work? This is hard work. You know, this is hard work. You have to talk about it. You have to save lives. You have to bring these children to clinic. You have to have a good relationship with other specialists who are struggling, probably with the patient they are managing, and they don't have a diagnosis.
Is it fatal?
It could be fatal when they do not present on time. Delayed diagnosis, and that is why we are creating awareness. Is there any child whose joint is always swollen? Is there any child who's always having fever, who is always sick, does not want to go to school? Is there any child who is having mouth ulcers recurrently, sores in the mouth, losing weight, ear is falling off without cutting it? Those are the kind of children.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ayodele Faleye. Thank you for joining us today and sharing awareness. And we hope that more people will see this as an opportunity. I hear a lot of people want to go into medicine, looking for the aspects they want to, you know, focus on. This is also another aspect. We need people like Dr. Faleye here with us in Nigeria. Please, all of you should not japa. Thank you so much, ladies, for your contribution. Thank you for being on the show today. We had a good time. We had a dramatic time. We had a YK time on the show, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.